Oh, this is a kind of a follow-on from a video I did about vegan gains. We're going to show you a clip now just of an incident that happened on a bike ride that someone uploaded, and the person is called Don Bauer. If you don't know who I'm talking about, he does these kind of funny response videos, and it's a little bit like if you imagine vegan gains responses videos, whatever, but like coming from a happy place. So like he's not like angry, he's just sort of funny and lighthearted. So I'll put a link in the description to his channel, you can check it out. He's also a professional photographer and like a hill runner and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so the reason this is sort of a follow-on from the video I did on vegan gains is I think the sort of attitude I was trying to convey applies to cyclists as well, okay? Now, I really do believe that any accident you have on the road on a motorcycle is your own fault, right? It doesn't matter like who was at fault, it's your fault, okay? Because you've chosen to go onto the road, okay, which is a dangerous place when you're on two wheels. People routinely will be breaking the law, they'll be breaking rules, they'll be doing things, unpredictable things on the road. They'll be like pulling out in front of you, they'll be crossing over lanes without seeing you. Half the people are fucking on Facebook or texting while they're driving now, which just makes it even more dangerous. So really, like, the only person who can like basically be responsible for getting you home alive and well is yourself. So with that in mind, that's what I mean by you got to consider that any accident that happens is your fault, because you put yourself in the position where you allowed it to happen and you didn't foresee it occurring, and you didn't take chances to minimize the danger. And yeah, I think it applies to bicycles as well. I've been run off the road a few times, once deliberately by a group of lads who basically sandwiched me between like a fence and their car just for a laugh. I could kind of see that's not my fault really, but all the other ones I can see are my fault. Like, I've had cars pull out on me and push me into the curb, and I've gone right over the handlebars and fucking made damage to my bike. I've had the same thing where I've almost exactly the same thing, which I didn't foresee, which I should have, where like I ended up getting sandwiched in the curb. I stayed on the bike, but like I ripped my tire. And I've also been hospitalized from a road traffic accident at a crossing where basically one of the cars jumped the light and took me out. And that was quite a serious incident, like fractured skull, ambulance, fucking amnesia, all that sort of shit. But that was still my fault, because I put myself in a position where if somebody wasn't stopping at the light where they should have, I would get hit. So that still fits in with everything being your fault on two wheels. So let's have a look at this incident, see what could have been done differently. So the UK's got lots of cycle lanes now. It's really awesome. It gives people an option to stay out of traffic if they want to, but obviously you don't have to, and it can slow your Strava personal best down for sure. So here's where the car comes. So like, to be fair to the driver there, like, he did give the cyclist a fair bit of berth. Like, I mean, it's hard to tell maybe from the angle, but it's not like he was clipping the guy with his wing mirror or anything like that. But he was doing a dangerous overtaking maneuver while his oncoming vehicle, and I think this driver obviously misjudged the speed of the oncoming vehicle or saw it too late, and for some reason committed to the overtake. More than anything, endangering this guy coming towards him. But had it been a little bit later and he hadn't been lucky, he could have been posed with a choice of taking out the cyclist or having a head-on collision, and maybe, who knows, maybe everyone involved would die in a kind of fiery, twisted fucking mess of steel. But what needs to sort of be noted here is the cyclist has chosen to put himself in a position of danger. Okay, no one was making the cyclist go on the road here, and there was an option that was a lot safer, which was the cycle lane. Okay, which the cyclist chose not to take for whatever reason. So we'll just go back and watch it here again. So we're coming up, and there it is. There's like the off ramp to the cycle lane. It's pretty hard to get in a road traffic accident when you're on a curbed cycle lane. And here we'll have a car overtaking, potentially causing a head-on collision. And none of this would have happened had the cyclist chosen the cycle lane instead. That doesn't mean that if an accident happened, it would be the cyclist's fault. For sure, it would have been the guy overtaken who would be responsible for killing everybody involved or permanently injuring the cyclist so that he's in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. But ultimately, I think, I don't know, you got to take responsibility for yourself and the decisions you make. And had that been an accident, had this guy been hurt, you might be looking back thinking, you know, I wish I'd fucking gone on that cycle lane and not been chasing the PB fucking on Strava or whatever.